Let's go to Portugal. So we booked $464 flights out of the Dulles airport, which was a really good deal. When we got there, we were greeted by this amazing sunset that really just set the tone for how great this trip was going to be.
Princess, look out the window. And welcome to Genovia.
As soon as we got through customs, we hopped on the train and went downtown. We found a coffee shop immediately and ordered pastel de nata, the famous pastry, and it was so good. We ended up having like 5 a day, every day on this entire trip. As soon as we were caffeinated, we headed out to our hostel. A big tip for visiting Lisbon is that it is super hilly and there are so many stairs. We had a pretty long walk to our hostel and I was getting so tired I had to have Justin carry my bags up the stairs, as you can see here. When we finally did make it to our hostel, it was too early for us to check in, so they told us we could put our stuff in the lockers. Pro tip for hostel life, always bring luggage locks and locker locks, because that is how you'll keep your stuff safe. We packed our day bags and looked around the hostel to see what they had. They had a pool table and a ball pit, which was a huge, huge plus, and the entire reason I booked this place. So something Justin and I like to do when we get to a new place is we immediately start adventuring with no directions and no plans. So that's what we did. We kind of just walked around the city aimlessly and actually ended up seeing a lot of really cool stuff along the way. Here is the famous tram that goes up the hills in Lisbon. The famous one is tram 28, and I'm not sure what this one was. This is the famous Time Out Market in Lisbon. We ended up eating some food here a couple times, I believe, and it was all really good. Outside of the Time Out Market, they actually had a bunch of food vendors along the water and this really beautiful river walk, which we really, really liked. Please enjoy this video of Justin trying to make me nervous. After the river walk, we decided to go to Castelo de São Jorge, which is a castle on the top of the hill in the city of Lisbon. So I bought us these city passes for Lisbon, and I'm pretty sure that this was included in our city pass, or if it wasn't, it was really cheap to get in. But if you're trying to decide if it's worth the money, I totally think it is, because look at how beautiful the views are from up here. Look at the, seating. After taking in all the views, we went and explored the castle. By the time we were done exploring the castle, we got pretty hungry, so we went and got more pastel de nata. I think we ended up getting like 2 or 3 each. And then we continued aimlessly roaming around Lisbon. We came across the Santa Justa lift, but ultimately decided it wasn't worth the money to go up an elevator. We spent the evening looking at more architecture and tile work, checked out some cobblestone work and fun doors, admiring some graffiti, and even came across a few kittens. Then we went back to the hostel to shower and get ready for dinner. Lisbon is really known for their seafood, but I don't like seafood, so I had pork and Justin had some seafood, and we both drank some wine and sangria. When it got dark out, we went around Rocio Square and explored the nightlife areas. We didn't really feel the need to ride the famous tram 28, so we hopped on this one and had it completely to ourselves. We also didn't even have to wait in line to get on it. It was like 95 degrees and so humid when we were in Lisbon, so we were so disgusting and just wanted to go back to the hostel and shower again. But before we showered, we were like, we should jump in the ball pit.
Ready? Yes. This is cool. Did it hurt? No.
When I saw that this hostel had a ball pit, it's literally the only reason I booked it, because it wasn't in a convenient location at all. But we had so much fun. After that, we went to bed because we have a big day planned for tomorrow. When we woke up, we went and got breakfast at the hostel, which was included with our stay, which was super convenient. And I decided to bring my digital camera with me today, so these are the photos from that. We decided to spend our morning at the National Tile Museum, and we didn't think it was that far, so we decided to walk. The Tile Museum was actually a lot further than we thought, and we had to walk alongside a highway, which we didn't realize, but it's okay. We finally got to the Tile Museum, and even though the walk was really far, we definitely felt it was worth it. I will definitely take the bus next time, but the tiles were beautiful, the artwork was gorgeous, and it was just really unique. The tile museum was not exactly what we thought, though. I honestly thought they were going to show us the tile making process and maybe even give us a chance to make our own tiles. It was more of an artwork display of some tiles that are historically important. I will say the architecture and the tile work was beautiful. Portugal, and Lisbon especially, is known for a certain type of tile design called azulejos, and it's these white and blue tiles that you'll see on the wall right here, and I want them in my future kitchen and my future dream home. So they also have a lot of artwork in these rooms, and I found it really interesting that they had a window design that specifically slanted upwards to the left a little bit to prevent direct sunlight from harming the artwork and causing it to fade over time. So we snapped a quick selfie and decided to take the bus back because the walk was really long. Back in Lisbon, we checked out this famous sardine store but didn't buy anything because I don't like seafood, but it was really cool to check out the tin designs. So there's this beverage in Lisbon that's not quite as famous as the pastel de nata, but I really wanted to check it out, so we ended up going to this place here. It's this really tiny shop that sells this cherry liqueur called ginja. So according to Wikipedia, ginja is a Portuguese liquor made by infusing ginger berries into alcohol, which is a sour cherry. And it's served in these little shot glasses, but it's actually meant to be sipped and enjoyed, not taken back like a shot. Our original plan was to actually spend the day in Sintra and then head over to Cascais at the end of the day, but there were really bad wildfires in July of 22 during this time, so we couldn't go to Sintra at all, unfortunately. So we packed up our bags, stopped to pet some cats, bought a train ticket, and waited a really long time for our train to come to go to Cascais. Hi, future Alexa here from 2024. I was just editing this and I caught something Justin said in the background of one of the videos and it had me dying laughing. I had to enhance the audio so you could hear it. But here it is. This is us when we were arriving in Cascais. Why?
You're like hangry, but you're not a raging bitch hangry.
So we stayed at a surf hostel called Nice Way in Cascais, and it was the prettiest hostel I've ever seen. I actually like to compare it to Casita in Encanto.
What's up, guys? What's up, MTV? This is my crib.
This hostel had everything. They had a full kitchen, an indoor and outdoor socializing space, a pool, a bar, a coffee bar. They even had tightrope walking. So we stayed in hostels pretty much every night on this trip, but we always did private rooms because it was just the two of us. However, here we really wanted to get the full hostel experience, so we decided to do a shared dorm room and we got our own beds. One of our favorite things to do when we go to another country is to go to the local grocery store and find the differences between the US grocery stores and the local grocery stores. So we got a pack of pastel de nata to go, some raspberries, and some lemonade. And we took it down to the beach for a little picnic. After that, we walked back up to the hostel because we signed up for a community hostel dinner night. And the hostel staff made us some barbecue, and we got to chill and talk to people from all around the world, which is my favorite thing about hostels. We started day 3 off exploring Cascais. I saw a cool place online called Boca do Inferno, which translates to Hell's Mouth. It's basically a cliffside area that's really popular with tourism. After visiting Boca do Inferno, we made our way back towards town to find lunch. We stopped at the local grocery store and found this really interesting looking sandwich. Don't remember what was in it, but it was really good and we were starving. The hostel we were staying at, Niceway, was technically a surf hostel, so we signed up for surf lessons through them. We made our way to the beach, put on dry suits, and hit the waves. Unfortunately, most of the waves were shore breakers, and I didn't have a GoPro at the time, so I didn't film any of it, but we had a lot of fun. After our surfing lessons, we went back to the hostel to chill for a little bit before our train back to Lisbon.
It's so hard.
We saw they had a slackline out at the hostel and decided to give it a try. We weren't very good, but I was actually pretty surprised at how well we did considering.
No way. Oh.
We really loved our stay at this hostel and I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, we did have to leave, so we said goodbye to the hostel cat and got on the train back to Lisbon. We passed the famous Pink Street on our way to our hotel. This was the only night we stayed at a hotel instead of a hostel. We decided to stay at a hotel really close to the train station because we had an early train out of Lisbon to Lagos the next morning. We checked in and went out to get dinner. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you! And stay tuned for part 2 where we go out to Lagos in the South Portugal region of the Algarve.